a very special guest with me, Miss Anshul Aggarwal, or any phase in life where you felt that, managing work as well as your well-being, your family was a little difficult, and how did you navigate through that?
Right. So, yes, I think without
Any person you look up to for inspiration in the context of work-life balance?
Hello everyone, introducing my podcast series on my YouTube channel Yoga with Parul Jain. In this space, we engage in open and candid conversation about life, work, health, well-being and everything in between, seeking diverse perspectives from individuals from various walks of life. I'm Parul Jain, your host on this journey of insightful conversation. So join me as we explore diverse stories, share inspiring experiences and dive into topics that matter. I welcome you all to my first ever and very special podcast on my channel Yoga with Parul Jain. In this channel, we just talk about life, work, career, self-care, well-being and everything in between. I'm your host Parul Jain, and today I have a very special guest with me, Miss Anshul Aggarwal. She's a chartered accountant and a partner at one of the Big Four consulting firms. And she's been into this industry for past almost 2 decades, I guess, in the tax consulting space.
less.
Yes. And she has not only climbed the corporate ladder, but has also been able to manage and maintain the balance between her work, family, and well-being. So I welcome Anshul.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you?
so much. Very well. How are you doing?
I'm good too.
And thank you for having me here for this podcast.
I really want to thank you for this because I know you just came back from a work travel this morning and this evening we're just having and recording this podcast. So grateful and so thankful.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So before we dive into a deep conversation, so I just want you to share something about your corporate journey so far.
So my corporate journey is, I would say, pretty much simple. I qualified in 2005 and since 2005, I've been part of the consulting setup. I'm a tax consultant and throughout my journey, I've worked with consulting firms, Big Fours and similar consulting firms in past. And yes, this has been, of course, we have had some changes of jobs, etc.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much my journey.
Yeah, that's really nice. So, Anshul, you would agree that, these days, I think one of the challenges where what many people face these days, and especially in the demanding corporate roles, is that, finding that balance between work and well-being. So, how did you manage that equilibrium in your life?
So, Parul, I'll be honest with you. It's not easy.
Yes,
sometimes
absolutely.
We first need to have an acknowledgement that managing that perfect work-life balance is not easy, especially when your job is slightly demanding. It becomes a challenge, but you have to somehow first you have to realize that what you want to do and how you want to move ahead. Once you're comfortable with your job, then you find a way around to manage things. For me, I would say that, yes, there have been challenges that I've seen. Sometimes the work becomes priority. Sometimes my personal life becomes priority. And the only thing that I do is that try to find the right balance.
Yeah.
It has never been a case that throughout I've had a perfect, a set time schedule with which I would have worked.
Yeah.
There are ups and downs you face, and you have to just manage those ups and manage those downs. That's how you continue to grow.
I agree. So do you practice anything, or do you, are you into any fitness regime, any routine that you follow? You try to incorporate that in your life just to, make sure that you navigate through both these things and you're able to balance your personal as well as your professional life.
So, and again, I'll be very honest with you that it is not that I've been able to manage any or manage to follow any set routine. Yes, whenever I get an opportunity, I prefer yoga. That's the first most thing, because that's where you get that relaxation and you're able to work on your physical well-being as well. And in fact, the best part about yoga is that it is not just helping you, it doesn't help you to work on your physical well-being,
aspect,
but as well as your mental well-being, which is the most important part.
And
I have
think
seen that
especially-
recently,
Yes.
when we talk about well-being,
Yeah.
everybody looks at well-being as a physical well-being.
Yes.
Whereas
Absolutely.
we miss that important part, that mental
Mental
well-being
well-being,
is the
yes.
most important part,
Yeah.
because that helps you, grow your career and as well as manage your personal life as well.
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, that don't follow any set standard, but sometimes I get into yoga, sometimes I get into the workout regime.
Yeah.
But one thing that I really like is walking. So
Okay.
I do go for my walks. In
Yeah.
fact, lately what I've started is that I just walk whenever I get an opportunity. Though during the day, I take all my calls on phone,
Mhm.
and
You walk and talk.
while I walk
Yes.
and talk. Yes,
Yes.
you're right.
I think
walk
that's the
and talk.
best thing to do.
At
Yeah.
home also, morning, whenever I get an opportunity, I walk. Evening, if I'm late, I become lazy to go down and
Yeah.
take a walk. But at the same time, I spend some time walking around at home. That's what I'm doing, and of course, focusing on my diet so
Yeah.
that I maintain that healthy, life.
That balance. Yes. So my next question was, see, sometimes it's difficult to manage because you have, your deadlines, work commitments, and then you have family priorities as well. So sometimes it becomes difficult to follow a fixed routine. Like,
Yes.
you get up at this, because sometimes you have to go early to work, you
Yes.
have to come, you have to come late from work. So is it consistent? Like you said, you practice yoga sometimes, you go to the gym sometimes, or you do, walking. So is it consistent, or do you tend to take breaks?
I have
Yeah.
taken breaks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I
Yes.
said that I don't follow any set regime. There
Yeah.
are times when I'm not able to do anything, and I think one very important part is that when you're following something, you continue to follow.
Yeah.
But the moment you break it, then it becomes more difficult
to come back. Yes.
So I
yes.
think yes, I've had those times where there are times when I'm doing nothing.
Yes.
No workout, no walks, no
Yeah.
yoga. So there have been those times as
So
well.
do you
but
find anything any alternative form, any form of movement or physical exercise, like as you mentioned, walking is one of
so
that.
walking
Yeah.
is the only thing. I mean, even the times when I'm not doing any practicing any fitness regime, that time also I just tried that I spend some time on my walk.
Yeah. And that you
That's
do in your office.
that
Yeah.
I can do in my
Yeah.
office, at home, or I
Yeah.
can go down for a walk.
Yes.
But
But I
that's
think
the only
that's
thing,
good, right? Because finding time between work
Yes.
schedules, calls, and
Yes.
also the best way is to you can walk and talk, and
Yes.
at least
So
you
I
get some
prefer
physical movement.
all my calls I prefer to take on my phone.
Yeah.
And I just walk.
Yeah.
Or earplugs have given you that flexibility that you
Yeah.
just walk and do the talking.
Yeah, so I think that is one of the
Yes.
greatest options for at least some kind of physical movement. So coming to the next point, like touching upon something on your diet. So as we all know that corporate jobs are really demanding in terms of you have a lot of travel. I think you just came back last night, I think in the morning
Morning
itself.
itself.
And sometimes it's long working hours, meetings, and it's not always possible to carry your home food.
Absolutely
So how
not.
do you try to manage that? You ensure you eat healthy? Like do you
Right.
order from outside, or do you prefer taking home food with you along?
So definitely, I prefer my home food any day over the outside food.
Yeah.
In general, also I carry a big bag with me for my
Yeah.
day, so that and small bites throughout the day I manage it.
Yeah.
When I'm traveling, if it's a day travel, I try to carry something with me.
Yeah.
I carry fruits, otherwise, and when I'm, of course, but if you're traveling for longer, you can't carry everything
Of
from
course,
home.
of course.
That's where you are dependent on the outside food. But then I try to look for right options.
Yes.
There
There are healthy options.
some
these
healthy
days.
options, some options with the protein if you can get. If nothing, you'll find Subway anywhere.
Yeah. Yes.
I
yes.
think that's my good option that you cannot miss. A little bit healthy.
Yeah.
But these days, I would say that things are
changing, and there
and
are
you
many
get
healthy options.
many
Yeah.
healthy options around.
Yes.
So it's about spending some time to find out that right option.
Yeah. And taking out that time also.
Yes.
Out of your busy schedule is a little tricky
Yes.
sometimes. But yeah, I think That's
Right.
inspiring.
Because I mean, so this is not that always, but from past few months, I have completely say no to packed food, barring few exceptions. So it becomes challenging. I mean, I was last week, it was very challenging for me, but at the same time, when I spent time to look around, I did find my options. So it was not that bad.
No. It's always about, the choices that you make, and somehow you find that way along. That okay, if you have something in your mind, and if you're, too much into it, then you anyway find that way.
Absolutely.
That's great. So these days, it's a very important term that we hear, that is called self-care.
Yes.
So do you believe in that, or rather I should say that, do you get time to follow that, or, to practice self-care?
I strongly believe in that, Parul, because I have experienced, and yes, there was time when I kind of, got into that mode that I was not really, giving any sort of care to myself. But I realize that it is very important. Again, I'll come back to the same point, that it is important to focus on yourself, not just physically but mentally as well. That gives you a strength, and that gives you a positivity, motivation to manage your work as well. Because that's where you are at peace. Otherwise, if you're not fit, or if you're not if you're stressed out all the time, then that is reflected easily on your work, on your personal life, everywhere. I have seen that. I've gone through those phases as well. So yes, I can say it comes out. And therefore it is very important for you to focus on yourself, because if you want to give, I mean, that's the only reason why you're not able to focus on yourself, because you want to give your best to several other things. But if you genuinely want to give best to you or to the other things, first you need focus on yourself.
So as you say, God helps those who help themselves. So first we need to help ourselves, then only we'll be able to help our organization. That's true. So as we know that success comes with its own set of setbacks and challenges. So has there been any particular situation or any phase in life where you felt that, managing work as well as your well-being, your family, so was a little difficult, and how did you navigate through that?
Right. So yes, I think without thinking twice, I can say that this COVID phase was very difficult for me. I had I had moved into a new job, and I had shifted into a new house. I had a 2-year-old baby, and managing everything together became a bit of a challenge. One thing that I, of course, focused on is on a health front. I focused on the physical health. So I did work out, 3 days in a week, so that it gave me the strength to work around throughout the day. But yes, I would say that I could not focus much on my mental health, because you're managing so many things. You are changing your roles. Instantly you're a mother, instantly you are a cook, instantly you are on a work call. So those change of roles gave you a lot of stress. Today when I look back, I feel that I could have done better. I could have taken things with ease, which probably I didn't do. I would say that, and like I said, that now when I look back, I feel the best way to deal with this, with that kind of a situation, is seek help. Seek help from whoever you can. If you are in the office environment, seek help of your colleagues. Seek help from your peers. If you're at home, seek help from your family members. Don't take every responsibility onto yourself. You might want to give your best, but with that stress, you're not always able to give your best to everybody. So that's where I feel it is important to seek help when you are struggling.
And I think that particular moment, I think that COVID phase, that was difficult for, I think, almost everyone, because that was the first time, everyone was just at home. and there were no lines like, when to stop working, when to start
Absolutely.
with your, your personal life. So the lines were blurred, and you were just constantly on laptops. You were constantly cooking also, you're cleaning also. There's like everything going on.
The amount of cooking I would have done in 3 months, I did not do in 30 years.
Yeah.
So it covered it up.
Yeah, so I think it was difficult for everybody, and I think everybody was struggling in some way or the other.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
yes, as you mentioned, seeking help is very important, like professionally, medically, physically. You want to visit a doctor, you want to consult someone. I think that is really important.
That's very important.
And
Yes.
of course, family support is the biggest thing that we can
And I think
of.
for mental health, again,
Yeah.
speak up.
Speak up,
when you're
yes.
not comfortable, when you're stressed,
Yeah.
speak up, because don't hold everything to yourself, because that increases your stress.
Yes.
And which is not
And
a good,
that is
good thing. Absolutely.
doing
So,
good to no one, like
doing good to no one. Absolutely.
yeah, because you bring your work stress to your house, you'll bring your house stress to your work, then it's like all
Absolutely.
yeah. So yes, absolutely, that is really true. Yeah.
Yes.
So also that in corporate roles, women face, I think they have their unique challenges, right? So which might affect their professional growth, or sometimes the overall work experience. So have you
Right.
ever felt that, or what's your perspective on it?
So I mean, honestly, I've never felt that kind of a challenge that because of the gender, I would have faced any discrimination, or yes, I'm not getting the right opportunity. I would say that I was fortunate enough
That's
that I grew in an environment where I got equal opportunities. And the only thing is that, somewhere there is a mental acceptance that needs to come.
Yes.
I would say that I would have given my best while working, and could never face that challenge. Similarly, today I work with a lot of women in my team, and I, of course, there are adjustments that are required. They need their personal time as well. They need to focus on their families as well. But at the same time, when you know that this is very obvious, I mean, these are things can be managed. It's just about the right adjustment. When you're giving them time, they are. Other time they are giving out their best.
Yes.
So I think I would say that it's about
has
that
to be there.
understanding, and it's about that little bit adjustment that is
Here and
required,
there,
and then I feel that women contribute. I mean, I'm not. I'm not. Undervaluing men, but at the same time, I do see. At least all the women I have worked with, I've seen a commitment. I've seen, that work with a focused mind and good delivery. So I have never faced any challenge to say that, because of the fact that I'm working with women, I'm not getting the work done, or my work is not getting done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. That's really good to know. And I think you're a perfect example.
You have your own set of challenges. And then you have to just work on those challenges and continue to focus on what you're doing. Perseverance is one thing that you have to, that keeps you going.
Yes.
And that's very important. I have had phases where things are not going right for me, or maybe I'm a little slow and all, but just keep your calm, right? Don't get panicked, don't give up things in those phases, because things change. You cannot give your 100% at the time where something else requires your attention.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've gone through that phase of, having my kid and all. So I realized during the COVID time also, there were times where my kid needed more attention than my work. And yes, it may give you a little bit stress, but learn to deal with that situation. Not every time can be the same time.
Yes.
So there are ups and downs. Enjoy your ups, but at the same time, don't get demotivated
during the downs.
During the downs, and just keep yourself focused and continue during that time. Just be calm. Things will
and like nothing is permanent, right? Like
nothing is permanent.
Situation keeps changing.
So that's something that I always feel that you have to learn to deal with the downs.
And when you love the work that you're doing, I think you tend to deal with that somehow.
Absolutely.
Like, you know that you love your work and whatever you're doing. So I think automatically that mindset changes. It's like, okay, everything going to be fine. Let's just keep moving on, on. That's great.
Yes.
All right. So, as you've been working in the corporate world for so long, so do you see any growing awareness about well-being and mindfulness?
Absolutely.
And do you see that people are realizing the fact that this is something that is the need of the hour, or they are understanding it that it is worth it these
Absolutely.
days?
Absolutely, Parul. These days, we are seeing that even the younger generation, they know that they have to
Yeah.
focus on their, health. They have to focus on their mental well-being. There is a lot of awareness, not just the awareness amongst the new generation,
Yeah.
but even the corporate world. We have seen that
Yeah.
how even the corporates focus a lot on the happiness factor, that
Yes.
it is not just about work. It is
yeah.
about maintaining a right balance
Yeah.
and keeping the employees, because that's where you come out to be more productive.
Yes.
If you
Because
are
like people only make organizations.
make
right?
organizations,
Yeah.
so that's where it is becoming very important. Now organizations, they do they start focusing a lot on the employee well-being as well.
Yeah.
And I feel this is the times a little bit have changed, and
Yeah.
it has changed for good.
Yeah.
So that ways I would be happy to say that
Yeah.
yes, there is a lot of awareness, and which is good.
And so I'll be a little specific here now that do you think incorporating practices like yoga, considering its multiple benefits, so is this something that companies should think of for to support their employees better in managing their work as well as their well-being?
So I know, as a matter of fact, there are corporates which focus a lot. If I talk about my own organizations, we do organize yoga classes over the weekend. Of course,
Yeah.
the virtual classes, because
Yes.
not everybody would
Of course.
would want to come to a particular place.
Yeah.
But those things are growing. Corporates
Yeah.
are giving out these opportunities, and not just giving out the opportunities, they're encouraging employees as well,
Yes,
that
yes.
they should take up those opportunities, and they should focus on their
Well-being.
well-being
Yeah,
as well.
both physical as well as mental.
mental.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes.
So now it's just a quick round of, you can call it a rapid fire round.
Sure.
So I'll just ask 3 simple questions. You just have to, answer as quickly as you can.
Right.
So my first question is, do you prioritize your well-being over your work commitments? Yes or no?
Sometimes no. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
sometimes
I understand. All right. So, is there any person you look up to for inspiration in the context of work-life balance? Either you're someone you admire or anyone.
So I mean, not just one particular person, I would say, but the inspiration does come from all the people around me. I
Yeah.
mean, there are colleagues, there are people at home. So somewhere you keep getting your inspirations, and I think
Yeah.
that's what keeps me going.
That's great. And one life mantra you live by?
Just stay happy, and perseverance is something that I work with.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So as we wrap up our conversation, so I really want to say thank you so much, Anshul.
Thank you so
Like,
much for
thank-
having me for this.
No. Like, sparing out your precious time, it means a lot. And so one advice you would like to offer to the aspiring individuals, especially women out there who want to succeed in the corporate world, and at the same time they are aiming to prioritize their health and well-being. So one advice you would like to offer them?
So genuine advice, I would say, don't take up everything onto yourself. Define your time is limited. Define where do you want to spend your time. You have to manage your work. You have to manage your health. You have to manage so many other things. But don't try to be in control of everything. Prioritize which one are more important. And in that priority list, your well-being should be the first and the foremost, because that will give you the strength and motivation to keep moving on. So that's what I
Yeah.
would recommend, and don't take up everything onto yourself.
Yes, I think that is really important.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Anshul. This conversation was like incredibly enriching, and I'm sure
Thank you.
people who are watching this video, they are going to, take some learning, some inspiration out of it. And thank you once again.
you.
And it was pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So to all our viewers, so thank you so much for watching my first episode. I'll be coming soon with another podcast on my channel, Yoga with Parul Jain. Till then, just stay balanced, be happy, and always remember that the real wealth comes out of good health. Thank you and
Thank you.
namaste. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this podcast. If you really liked the conversation, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more such content. Your support means the world. Until next time, take care and make healthy choices. Namaste.